Is graphic design recruitment broken? And is there anything that we can do about it? I've been a graphic designer for about 15 years and I've seen so many trends. I've seen things come and go and I've learned a lot from that. I've lost my job 3 times in my career. I think I know a thing or two about finding a job. I live in the UK, okay? And people are very worried about the introduction of AI and the state of the industry as a whole. And it's very, very painful looking for a job and getting rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. And also, once you get a job, it's not really that stable, because when businesses face hardships, quite often the first department to go is the marketing department, and graphic designers tend to be in that department. That happened to me a few times. Oh, I've lost my job 4 times in my career. 4 times. The first time, it's a bit of a funny one, but let's say 4 times. And that was due to business hardships, businesses having to make people redundant. And every time I've had to apply for roles, I've had to position myself in a way that lets me get a new job. And I don't think the environment is entirely different, although there's different elements, right? Now, how can I describe this? Today, when you apply for a role, you're expected to know a little bit of AI and dive into that kind of concept, right? But if you're someone that's never used AI, you're at a disadvantage. So you end up having to learn AI, whether you agree with it or not, and then having to just kind of cave under the pressure of needing to learn a skill that you don't necessarily want to learn. And that's just the market. But there's the other side of things where recruiters are now emphasizing recruitment on platforms like LinkedIn, and the competition is just really high, really, really high. You apply for a role and people don't get back to you. When I was like more of a junior level designer, I would get recruiters calling me all the time, telling me about these jobs, whether they were good or not. They'll be getting me to interviews and stuff. I used to have a lot of interviews. Nowadays, when I'm applying for roles, it's actually really hard to get an interview, mainly because I'm more of a senior designer, but also the industry's kind of changed a lot. And there's a lot of things that are happening right now that I didn't really experience back then. So one of those things being that recruiters will contact you, get you really excited for a job and say that you're a perfect fit. You send them your CV and portfolio and you don't hear back from them. One person, he got in touch with me, by the way. He got in touch with me and he said, oh, there's a role that you might be great for, blah, blah, blah. Getting me gassed, getting me like excited. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is great. But this time I could tell that recruiters, they're the F-boys of the recruitment industry. They just see you as a number. So I was like, okay, cool. You probably just see me as a number, but let me send my CV anyway. But it looked pretty promising. Didn't hear back from him for a while. Messaged him, didn't get a response. Tried to call him, didn't get a response. Tried to email him, didn't get a response. So again, this is one of those things where recruiters treat people as a number and they don't actually treat people as human beings. This is one of the main frustrations I have with the recruitment industry right now. And there's not a lot of laws in place to stop recruiters from treating people like numbers and mistreating people. One way that I've heard from another recruiter, I can't say who it was, but I was just scrolling on TikTok, and one of the recruiters said that in his industry, it's really bad because people put up fake jobs as well to get data, to know what the popularity would be for a job like that. And people spend their time writing cover letters, sending their CVs, tailoring the CVs, and all that kind of stuff, sending to these roles that just don't even exist. And companies do this as well. They create roles that don't exist in order to look like they're growing. That is wrong. And again, there's nothing in place that I know of that prevents companies from just lying to people. But this is just very immoral to me, because it's like people are desperate for work and they're spending all their time tailoring their CVs, tailoring cover letters to send it to people that just don't care. And they're not going to get back to you. It's like the environment is very tough right now. I'm actually seeing a lot of people on the internet right now talking about how hard it is to get a job, because people are saying, we want a graphic designer that can also do motion, that can also do 3D, that can also do packaging. Wow, but they need to know AI too. Also, they need to know a bit of copywriting as well. Oh, what about infographics? All these lists of things. And then me as a designer, I'm looking at that. I'm like, you're not asking for a graphic designer. You're asking for a magician. And some of these roles are junior roles. I'm not applying for junior roles, but I feel sorry for people that are like, they read a junior role and that's a lot to ask for a graphic designer. I'm willing to experiment and learn things, but if that's a requirement of the job, that is not a graphic design job. But people are putting up these jobs because they don't have a clue what these jobs are actually about what a graphic designer does. So they just maybe look on Google, look on ChatGPT, and they just copy and paste something, though it doesn't even make any sense. But I say that, but when I was more of a junior, mid-level designer, I faced the same problems. It was actually the same thing. People were still looking for this unicorn of a graphic designer back then, but it's just changed a lot of shape now because of the emphasis on like AI and all that kind of stuff. So like it's changed shape, but it's still the same type of beast. People have always been looking for the perfect person that can do a bit of everything because they are trying to save money at the end of the day. They would rather hire one person that can solve loads of problems than hire somebody that is specialized. But that just does not make any sense because that person rarely exists. Because if someone is strong in one area, he or she is going to be weak in another area. And this is the type of beast that we're facing. We're facing issues when it comes to dishonesty on the job roles. Recruiters are contributing to a system that is just immoral. Why would you put up a fake job? Like, in what world is that a good thing? I feel like there needs to be more done with regards to that kind of thing. And again, people just being unrealistic with the job roles. And it's just overly competitive as well. So a lot of designers are actually struggling. I read a post on LinkedIn about this guy saying that he's leaving the graphic design industry because of the struggles. And it's like, I'm just going to do something like IT because at least I'm able to, it's going to be more profitable for me and I have an interest in IT, so he's moving more in that area. And I felt sad for him because like, you love graphic design. You clearly do, but you feel like you don't have a choice because of the industry and what the industry has done to you. I felt that way before. I've asked myself, oh, am I in the wrong industry? Am I doing something wrong here? Why am I not getting these job interviews? It's really, really tough. Like for almost 2 years now, I've been applying for jobs and it's been really, really tough. By God's grace, I have been provided for. I've been able to make ends meet, but my lifestyle is not what I wanted to be at this stage. And that's because of how hard it is. So I totally understand how hard it is, but it's just hard. And this video is not even like a thing of like, hey, do this and do that and you're going to get a job. But what I can say is that if you are struggling to find a role in graphic design, you're in good company because everybody is struggling. Everybody's trying to find a job. Everybody's struggling to find the right job. So just keep going and put yourself in a position where you're more likely to be noticed. Do something different with your CV. Do something different with your portfolio. And just keep trying and leverage AI. Everyone is using it anyway. Leverage AI and tailor it to yourself. But that's all I have to say about this. It's a bit of a different video, but I feel like it does need to be talked about a lot. And I hope that it's somehow helped you feel like you're in a good company because everyone is trying, everyone is struggling. But what do you think about the industry? Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you on the next video.